guys, how's it going? So today has just been a beautiful day. The weather is perfect. You can see it's a little bit overcast, but still bright, just slightly breezy, and it's cool. I mean, what a gift in May. Usually by this time we are already hot and it's too late to trim boxwoods, which is another chore I need to get done today. But that's what we're doing. So trimming boxwoods and planting some Gaura, some new Gaura in this area. And as you can see, this area already does have some Gaura in it, but we have just trampled it to within an inch of its life. I mean, throughout the years of like getting this new fountain set up, and just general wear and tear on this area, we did pull up all of the pavers that were in here. In fact, they're over here. Let me show you. So a friend is coming to get all of those, which is amazing. They have a project they're working on, and so every time we get rid of these, they come get them. But those were just kind of randomly placed in here. Like, well, not random, I suppose. It had a purpose at some point. They were kind of bordering this whole area in here, but then along the way, they became kind of unnecessary, I guess you could say. So I've got some gorgeous varieties of Gaura that I thought I would share with you. I chose 3 different varieties. Now, I do believe this is what I have in there currently, and if you remember what it looks like when it's in its prime, it is the most amazing, ethereal, beautiful thing, and it attracts butterflies like crazy, and bees. But this one grows 3 by 2, and that's why I think this is the variety we have, because when it is like grown and full, it is higher than the boxwood hedges, and it kind of hugs the bottom of the fountain right there. It's just fantastic, and this is the biggest of the 3 varieties that I'm going to be planting today. So I'll make sure to kind of plant that toward this side, and then the other 2 varieties are a little shorter, so I'll be stair-stepping them down toward these boxwood cones. And remember when I replaced the boxwood in the hedge right there? They're looking pretty good. But I have to replace one right there. We had to dig a dead one out. Bummer. And then the next variety that I grabbed is called So White. And I grabbed this one because, well, it's in bloom, and it's the only one that's in bloom right now, and I couldn't help it. Plus, this one has a much more like upright sort of growth habit. This one's like, all of them are kind of sprawly, which is fine. I mean, I know how big these get and how tall they get, but I just thought it was interesting. So this one grows 2 by 2, zone 5, and I believe all of these are a zone 5, and they bloom forever. And the last variety, like, I couldn't resist because look at the leaves. So green with kind of that creamy yellowish white variegation, like the margins on the edge of the leaves, and then the pink spots. Isn't that cool? These have it too, a little bit. It's just such an interesting plant. Now this one has kind of like, I don't know if the little petals right below like the main flower are pink, but it has a little bit more of a pink appearance. So this is the shortest one, potentially 20 to 24 inches tall and wide, zone 5, etc. So I've got 12 of these babies to get in the ground, and I'm very excited about it. And kind of a little tour of the area. This is we call it the corner garden. That's what I've always called it. It doesn't really make sense except for it's kind of tucked into this corner. But the arbor here was put in by the previous owners. They actually bought it down at my parents' garden center, and I love it. I love it. And I do not want to paint it. That's always a question that I get asked. I don't want it black. I think it's beautiful the way it is with the rusty patina. Iceberg roses climbing here. There's another one right here that's actually showing a little bit of an iron issue, and I treated it with iron tone just recently. So I'm hoping, like, there are some healthy leaves rather, and see that right there though. So I'm hoping to combat this issue. Anyway, and then there's sweet autumn clematis planted on either side, so it climbs up and it reaches the top. I have several pictures of that. And then as you come in here, there used to be a bench here that was just crumbling apart, and we ended up having to toss that. We couldn't even give it away. And then I planted 3 Vanessa Bell roses in here. They're the palest of yellow and beautiful. Thundercloud plum we planted last year. There's a little bit of boxwood issues going on. This is probably one of the worst boxwood hedges we have, and we're trying to decide if we just tear out individuals and replant kind of like I did over here, which really isn't that big of a deal. It'll fill in here pretty quick, or if we take out this entire hedge and start fresh. It's tempting, you guys. But I plan on doing meteor shower verbena in here along with those pale yellow roses. I think it'll be gorgeous. And here comes Benjamin. Hey, dude. You gonna come out here and play?
Okay.
Okay. So I think I'm just gonna get these plants all set out and get them all planted. And then I'm gonna grab some stuff. I'll show you that right after I'm done. And then I'm gonna grab the stuff to trim up these box cones. One of our 1/2-inch drip tubes. I don't know if you can see that right there. So I've got to make a quick repair. And here it is, all filled in. Now there are some tulips still in here. I don't know if I mentioned that before. They have the boulder leaves down here. I'm just waiting for them to die back, and then those will be gone and it will be all one consistent kind of foliage look in here. And so what I did is I started with the whirling butterflies and I planted a couple. Let's see, there's one here, there, right here. One on that side, that's where I broke the drip tube and had to fix it. And then I started up in here. So there's a swoop in there. And then I started in with the So White. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the silver, I can't even remember now, the last variety. There's one over here and 2 over here. I actually told myself last year, like I needed to remember to dig this one up and move it to this spot right here when it was dormant, and I completely forgot clearly. So I'm just gonna let it grow here again because it's looking so healthy and full. But what happens is it gets so big, it comes over the sidewalk right here. It doesn't really hurt anything, and that's why I'm not in a hurry to move it. So I'll move it later. I'm also thinking about painting that little electrical little post black. I think that would make it disappear. But not today, another day. A quick thought about Gaura though that I did want to share is that it's such an amazing perennial, and I should have talked about this very first thing in this video. You know, I plant a lot of annual Gaura, the Carolee Petite Pink, and I love it. I planted it in our front containers, and it gets really full and it's really vibrant pink, and I just love to plant that one. But it's also fun to have a perennial version that will come back every single year, and I find that they're incredibly low maintenance. So long as they get full sun, they perform the best. Even here in high desert, I mean, it's typically not like this. This is so atypical. It's actually kind of humid today, and I'm suffering a little bit. So for those of you guys who live in a humid climate, like props to you for gardening in that. I am just not acclimated, and so like 15 plants today, and I was just sweating it up. So anyway, I cooled off for like a couple minutes before I decided to talk on camera. Anyway, it's just a super low maintenance perennial. I mean, cut back once a year in the fall. Late fall is when we usually do it. And you just let it do its thing. Average moisture, you know, we have a drip system through here clearly because I broke one of the drip tubes today and had to fix it. But other than that, like I have no issues with this plant whatsoever getting any kind of insects or disease or anything like that. So there's really not like a lot of bad, there's nothing bad that I could say about this plant. Okay, so now for the second part of this project today. I'm gonna give these boxwoods a little bit of a shear. I want them to not touch necessarily, and you can see all their woolly growth here. They look really good. And most of these actually took our cold snap this fall fairly well, except for this one. You can see there was a little bit of tip damage in there. So there's fresh growth inside. Hi, sweetie. Wanna come look at this boxwood? Still working on those Cheetos, huh? Hi. Anyway, if you look in the boxwood, you can see fresh growth underneath, and then this is what happened during our 9-degree night when it went from 40 degrees one night to 9 the next. It burned the tips. And then this is the new growth this spring, so I'm hoping to maybe shear into this boxwood right below the burned stuff. But the other ones look pretty good. I mean, there's really not a lot of dead. These, I believe, are Green Mountain boxwoods. They grow in more of this conical shape naturally. Hey, what are you doing? And we on purpose only mulched from the corner to about right here because boxwood trimming can be kind of messy, even though I've got a sheet, actually it's an old curtain, that I try to catch all of my boxwood trimmings on. So anyway, here we go. You want to do some trimming, Aaron? You want to try your hand at it?
Sure.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just don't mess them up.
Now you're going for the bowl cut, right?
Yes. You know how I like a bowl cut. So if you could maybe stick to the side that has the sheet, that would be great.
Okay.
I tend to do the other way, but you do what feels comfortable. How does that feel?
I don't know. Okay, I guess.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea how nerve-wracking an experience it is to watch somebody else trim your boxwoods. They're technically your boxwoods too, but I look at them as being more of mine than yours. Does it make you more nervous that there's a camera pointed at you?
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? I just want everybody to appreciate that.
Boy, that's
It's a good forearm workout, isn't it? That looks good, doesn't it?
yeah, I suppose just keep doing that all the way around. I think I'm done though. I'll let you take over.
Will you let me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's all done. They're looking a little bit more kept, a little less woolly. They're not perfect, but they really never are. And honestly, there's too many things around here in this garden. I mean, there's a lot to do in this garden that I really can't take the time to make everything super precise. And it really is fine with me because I've never really been that type, which is, I know, probably strange to hear because you guys know how much I like to have everything look really tidy. But as long as we're close, I'm good. Now I would like these to be a little bit more pointy in the end. So I did not trim up the tops very well. I left them a little bit more woolly. You can see on most of them. That one's getting closer, but I prefer a little bit more pointy rather than domed on the top. But they look pretty good. Wonderful winter structure out here. And now we'll be able to finish mulching. I'm not gonna do that right now, but you can see how much better it looks when you use something to catch most of the clippings, because boxwoods are a total and complete mess when you trim them. And if you were to let all of that go everywhere, it is so hard to get them all picked up. And this is so minimal. I mean, look at that. It's so minimal that we'll just put the mulch right on top of it. And that is it for today's project. I'm just hoping that we can bring this area back to its former glory, full of Gaura. This is the first time I ever saw Gaura where I absolutely loved it. I'm not sure if the previous owners were the ones who planted these boxwoods, both the hedge and the cones, or if it was the owner before them, but they had a statue placed roughly where that fountain is, and it was a large one of a girl who looked like her dress was kind of blowing in the breeze, and then she was underplanted with Gaura, which is just this most, I mean, the whirling butterfly name of one of the varieties I planted today is such an appropriate name because it looks like it's kind of moving, and it's very ethereal and very, it was the perfect blend. And it's still, I remember seeing that when we were here on a garden tour once, and I just thought, I gotta do that somewhere, not knowing that one day this garden would be mine. It's so weird, and I'm so thankful for it. So anyway, that is my hope for this space. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have to go do a bunch of watering, so I better get at it with it. Whatever, I'm tired and I'm sweaty. It is so humid today. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.